What's up, brand builders? Stephen Hurahan here at BrandMasterAcademy.com, and in this video you're going to learn how to run a brand discovery session so you can gather the critical info you need to build strategic brands and convert your prospects into clients as you do it. Now, if you want actionable brand strategy tips and techniques to grow your business, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well, and you'll be well on your way. Now, if you're coming across the term brand discovery session for the first time, or you want to understand it a little better, well then check out my other video, What is a Brand Discovery Session, where I cover exactly what a brand discovery session is, including the different session styles and the primary and secondary goals. I'll leave a link for that video in the description below. Now, before I dive into how to run a discovery session, let's just clear up the goals of the discovery session, and I covered this in the last video as well. The primary goal of the discovery session is understanding. You need to understand everything about their business and the environment that that business is going to live in, and the secondary goal is to show expertise and empathy so that you can build trust with your prospect. Now, this doesn't mean that you talk all the way through the discovery session. In fact, you want to be talking only around about 20% of the time and allow your prospect to talk about 80% of the time. And the best way to do this is to ask a lot of questions. Now, if you're asking a lot of questions, you will be demonstrating authority, you will be gathering that information, and your prospect will see you as an expert. Now, there are a number of different styles for discovery sessions. You could be in a conference room with 20 of the C-suite if it's a larger company, or you could be in a one-on-one session with the business owner if it's a smaller business, and that could be over the phone or via video conference, and anywhere in between in terms of these styles. But whatever style you decide is right for your agency, it doesn't really matter. Again, the overarching goal here is to gather that critical information so you can develop a strategic brand and to earn that trust with your prospects so that they convert from a prospect into a client. Me personally, I like to take a two-pronged approach to the discovery session, and that's by breaking it up into phase 1 and phase 2. Now, phase 1 is the preliminary discovery. Now, this is where the leadership team and the strategist work together and collaborate to uncover all of that critical information. So here the discussion is between the two, and it's really important here that the key decision maker is involved. And what you're going to cover within this session is everything about the business in terms of its operations and its industry, everything about the people that they're trying to attract, the primary audience, the existing customer, the ideal customer, then the competitive landscape, who are the direct competitors, the indirect competitors, and then of course the goals of the business, the goals of the overall brand, and the goals for the project itself. Now, the answers to these questions will paint a picture of what the market landscape looks like from the perspective of the leadership team. But it's also important to remember that the leadership team aren't necessarily branding strategists, they're not necessarily branding experts, and their area of expertise lies in delivering a solution to a certain problem. So it's important here not to make any assumptions. Yes, it's important to gather the information from their perspective, but don't assume everything they say or everything they believe to be true, and that is why phase 2 is so important. So what is phase 2? Well, phase 2 is advanced discovery. So what you're doing here is you're taking the information that you've gotten from the business leadership team and you're confirming the information that you've gotten. You're confirming those assumptions and beliefs to be true. And what you're also doing is you're uncovering new information that you can potentially use for the development of that brand, new information that might uncover opportunities or weaknesses of your competitors that your leadership team didn't know. So the combination of these two phases are really important here. You're getting the information from the prospect, from their perspective, and it's important to have their perspective and a clear understanding of their beliefs, but it's also important to go further than that and gather more information from the market as to what the accurate landscape looks like, because it might not always be aligned. So what you should have on the back of phase 2 then is a much deeper understanding of the landscape and the conditions, a much deeper understanding of who the audience is, of who their competitors are and what their weaknesses are, and hopefully they should throw up some insights as well. So what does a successful discovery session look like? Well, you could sum that up into a single word, and that would be clarity. If you have a clear understanding of all of the information needed, then you have the perfect conditions to go on and develop a strategic brand for your clients. So it's really important to take that time. Now, there are 4 categories of questions that you need to make sure that you're asking to gather that critical information, and those categories are divided up into business, audience, competition, and goals. If you understand all 4 of those categories and ask questions around all of those categories and make sure that you follow those answers up with research, then you should have the conditions and you should have the ingredients to go on and develop an effective brand strategy. But I would love to hear from you as to how you go about running your discovery sessions. Do you break it up into multiple phases like I do, or do you do that in a single sitting? I'd love to hear any challenges that you might have. If you're new to discovery sessions, let me know of any questions that you have in the box below. I'll do my best to answer all of those. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well. If you want exclusive tips and techniques like this, well then head on over to BrandBuildr.ai and sign up for the newsletter. It is free and I will drop those techniques right into your inbox. But as I said, please let me know in the comments below any challenges you might have. Until next time, brand like a master, and I will see you in the next video.